Coffee. I love it. One of the world's favourite drinks. If you don't have the time to grind your own beans, but want to step up your coffee from instant, then pod machines are a great alternative. And I'll tell you what I've learned so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Welcome to Rich Man Poor Tech. For new viewers, this is a technology channel and today's focus is on coffee pod capsule machines. So I have some coffee pod machines here to tell you about, and also why you should buy one over the other two, and also over the rest of the pod capsule machines out there for that matter. Now this is as much about the systems as it is about the machines themselves, so keep watching. First up I have the Krups Dolce Gusto, second I have the Bosh Tassimo, and third the Nespresso, this one made by Delonghi. Now before anyone says to get a real great cup of coffee you need to weigh and grind your own beans fresh and make your coffee straight away, part of me agrees with you on that. And I have another video coming up soon touching on this, so please remember to like and subscribe and click on that bell for future video notifications. But sometimes we just want a good coffee quick and easy. Sometimes we don't want to weigh the coffee beans, sometimes we don't want to grind the coffee or measure the water. Sometimes we don't want to fill a coffee porter filler or stand over a V60 slowly pouring in circles. Sometimes we just want one cup and we want it now. There's no shame in it. There's a massive industry and some of the biggest names in food and beverages supplying just that. If you drink supermarket brand instant coffee, then do your taste buds a favour and stop. In fact, just stop this video now, it's not for you. But if you drink good instant coffee and want more, or if you buy coffee from one of those chains like Costa, Cafe Nero's or Starbucks and want these coffees at home, then pod machines are a great way to go. They are very convenient, quick, with very little cleanup. You can also do lattes, cappuccinos, americanos, etc. all with ease. And it's easy to see why there's millions of these being sold, and not just to me, despite what my wife thinks. So let's get into these pre-mentioned coffee machines. So first up is the Krups Dolce Gusto. When I first tried a sample in store, I was hooked. I bought one straight away. The convenience, good quick coffee, well better than instant anyway, and quicker than homemade espresso. I bought a cappuccino, americano and latte pods. I bought another set and so on. So, do I recommend it? No. And I'll get into why not in a minute, so keep watching. Second, the Bosh Tassimo. Tried that, liked it, bought some Costa pods, even bought some of those tea pods or discs as they're called. Bought some more, all from different brands. So, do I recommend the Tassimo? No. Again, I'll tell you why in a minute. Third, I bought an espresso. Had to justify why I needed yet another coffee machine to my wife. It was a bit like why she needed another pair of those brown boots, just like the other 4 pairs she already had. Now this Nespresso machine is from Delonghi. Again, bought some pods, bought some more. Had lattes, americanos, cappuccinos, etc. Do I recommend the Nespresso? Yes. And I'll tell you why I recommend the standard Nespresso over the Nespresso Virtuo or any of the other pod machines out there on the market that I haven't mentioned. But why? To answer this, let's first go back to the Dolce Gusto. The main problem with the Dolce Gusto is that the flavour range of the coffee is one. Yes, you might have lattes or americanos, etc., but the flavour of the coffee is the same. And your taste buds soon get tired of the same tasting coffee. Even Mars bars change their recipe regularly so you don't get bored of the same taste. It's a little better with the Tassimo. Having more brands to choose from equals more flavours. But that barcode on the disc determines the perfect amount of water, not for you or for me, but for the focus group of coffee tasters. How do they know how I like my coffee? You'll probably like your coffee different to me. I might like it stronger or weaker than you, for instance. And all our water tastes different wherever we live anyway. But again, it lacks from the same lack of variety in the flavours. Now the Nespresso's biggest advantage is actually by accident. Although designed by Nestle to sell their own coffee, like the cheaper Dolce Gusto, Nespresso designed it with a lot more flavours, different beans and blends from around the world, a more upmarket version. and in itself it's a far better machine than the other two. But then something magical happened. Someone else decided to make the capsules as well, and Nestle of course took them to court. But this is where the magic happened. They lost. And because they lost, this opened up the capsules to be supplied from other coffee brands and coffee chains like Costa, Starbucks, Law, Illy, some small independent roasters, and even supermarkets like Tesco's and Aldi do their own brands. Of course, you can still have all the Nespresso flavours to choose from as well, and there is over 30 different flavours to choose from. This is why the Nespresso is by far the best pod system to choose. Now, that's the system, but what do I think about the machine? Well, this is the De'Longhi Lattissima Touch, and it's a cracking little machine. It's a definite step up in build quality over these other two machines shown before. Again, all items bought by myself, and as always, links to the current prices in the description below. Now, the Lattissima Touch heats the water through a thermal block, and pump pressure is 19 bars like all Nespresso machines. As mentioned, the build quality in my experience is superb. Now, I've had this machine for 5 years or more, and it's so easy to use. Also, in the 5 years I've had it, I haven't wanted to replace it with another pod machine out there. If there is a fault with the machine, then it could do with a larger water tank than the 0.9 litre water tank, in my opinion. But some others may prefer its more manageable and compact size, especially if you mainly drink espresso. Now, the water tank is removable for filling, or can be filled while it's still on the machine if you prefer. It comes complete with adjustable milk frother, so you don't have to buy one of those extra milk frothers like some of the other Nespresso machines, and it fits nicely in situ here on the machine itself. It does a good job of creating nice foam and hot milk to your coffee. Again, you set this to your own personal taste, for example, more hot milk or more foam, as it is adjustable. My tip for using this is to use fresh milk straight out of the fridge at the quantity required, and then clean it out quickly afterwards, running some water through the milk container. Now, the frother also does come apart and goes in the dishwasher as well. Onto the machine, there is 2 adjustable settings for the coffee and 2 settings for the milk drinks that you set yourself to the desired amount. I tend to have one for a large espresso shot and one for a lungo shot, both set up for the quantities that I want. You can also press and press again to top up manually if you want, say, an Americano for instance. And the hinged lid feels nice and firm 5 years on and pierces the capsules effortlessly as you insert them. Once used, then the capsules then expel into this bin here. And there is a sliding removable drip tray for small cups to stand on, or for larger cups you just push it in and the larger cups stand here. This Nespresso machine feels as good today as it did when I first purchased it. But one thing that's impressed me the most over the time of using it is the visual condition it has stayed in. Now, I'd chosen it in white, other colours are available by the way, and I was worried about the discolouring over time like so many other white kitchen gadgets do. But it hasn't discoloured in the 5 or more years that I've had it. I wish other kitchen gadgets kept their looks like this. As far as pod machines go, I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching.